And also joining us as well is Baki Adewale Musa. He's a senior product leader, a financial strategist, and also a behavioral architect. It will help us examine the link between consumer behavior, product strategy, pricing, and profitability. Let's look at things from a consumer behavior perspective. Speak to us about what makes a customer see a product online and then they decide that they want to buy that product.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. So, one major thing which really makes customer wants to buy online, because a lot of Nigerians are very skeptical when it comes to buying products online. The main thing is if you can gain your customers' trust. If you can gain that trust, you can be 50% assured that you're gonna have a purchasing customer, because and that's where the problem is. Building trust online is not as easy as having a store which customer can walk in and see your product basically, because there's skepticism about okay making purchases and the vendor not delivering and other things that comes along with making purchases online. So if a business, an SME can make sure they can position themselves well and gain the trust of customer or the prospective customer, they can have that confidence that okay, the business can grow and they can easily turn the followers into purchasing customers.
Becky, now, since we're concentrating on customer behavior with you, speak to us about the behavioral factors that cause customers to, hesitate and also abandon their cart or postpone making an online purchase. What is behind that behavior?
Yes, thank you. So one thing regarding customer is when an SME, when you don't take your funnel, when you don't take it seriously, the funnel journey, it's a problem in the long run. Because, set an example, if if you have a product which the product is fine, however, through the customer journey of making a purchase, there is a problem in in the channel. It could be communication, like my colleague said, could be anything. So when we talk about e-commerce, most time we always talk about okay, it's all about marketing, marketing, marketing. Most time it's not only about marketing. As an SME, you need to take your discovery, you need to take it seriously. The conversation with your customer, you need to take it seriously. The fulfillment, it's important as well. And after a customer has made a purchase as well, it is important to make sure, okay, what's the review? How was the product? Get a review from them. That way, they can easily be motivated to come back to you because they'll have a good customer satisfaction on what you've delivered for them. So, if someone let's say someone discover your product on Facebook or Instagram, just as an example, then at first it is difficult to trust. Okay, what would be the communication bill? What will it look like? But if you're able to give them all the information they need and you're able to gain their trust, that 50% deal nearly closed. So, what I always tell SMEs is anytime you're dealing with a new customer, a prospective customer, take it as treat them as if you're treating a new product. In the sense that okay, you need to make sure, okay, what's the expectation? What's the pain point of this customer? Have they had an experience of trying to make a purchase and they were being redirected to the product ad for the pricing? You need to do better. That's a pain point. You need to do better in that aspect. Whatever information they need, provide it for them. What's your response time? How long does it take you to respond to a prospective customer? Because that also determines if they're going to make a purchase. Because if they run into a problem after making a purchase, they'll be like, okay, if it takes you 1 hour to reply the message, after a purchase, they will expect you to take maybe possibly a day before you get back to their question regarding the product they've made a purchase. So all these are very important in gaining the trust of a prospective customer. And the customer journey doesn't just end after a successful sales. It's also move into okay, what is the post-sales support after the purchase? What support are you offering your customer, or is it because you've made them pay, then you think, okay, that's a closed deal, then you don't need to bother about that customer again. That customer can be a repeat customer. So all these are very, very important in a customer journey. Make sure, okay, the communication is good, the service delivery is good, the post-sales support is good, and every other these things, they are all important as part of the customer journey. So I always say, as an SME, always treat your product, your customer like a normal product, because it's not just, you're not, the value a customer brings to the table is not just the purchase. It could be a referral. A customer can refer 10 other people to you if the service is worth it. It can also include, okay, they being a repeat customer. So as an SME, which I've also seen in firsthand, the problem is how we treat customer. We need to ensure we build the trust, making sure the purchasing, the checkout process is not very complicated. If your customer are those that love to use WhatsApp, you can make use of products that makes the communication easier. AI is very good at this. You can use AI to meet your customer where they currently are, get them all the information they need without you stretching yourself. Get them all the information they need. So all this will really help in whatever business and or whatever products an SME is engaged in online.
All right, let's now move to pricing, profitability, and customer loyalty. How do you think SMEs can calculate the real cost of acquiring an online customer and know whether that customer is actually profitable?
Yes, when it comes to customer acquisition, one thing I always focus on is it's not just sufficient to try to um, run promotion, run ad, and focus on acquiring customer via ad only. You need to be able to make sure, okay, certain example, if you let's just even take it from the bare minimum, having just a WhatsApp store, taking it from there, run an ad and trying to get customer to your WhatsApp store. It's not just enough to keep running ad just to get more customer. You need to be able to make sure, okay, these customers that get into your final stage of purchase, are they making purchase? That assumes maybe you have 1,000 people seeing your product, but only 500 people are getting to your store or sending messages. And let's say just 50 people are making purchases. So from 1,000 people seeing your product, now you have just 50 making purchase. That should tell you something. Or maybe it's your marketing that is not working, or let's even say your marketing is working, or your product proposition is very weak. So you need to be able to make sure, okay, everything sync in together. If your marketing is working fine, is your product proposition, is it working fine? If that is working fine, do you have enough trust for people, or is your pricing okay? So all these are very, because if everything works fine and your pricing is too high, then your customer may feel, okay, I would rather go and get a cheaper place. So all these things boils down to something. You have to always diagnose your funnel from your adverts, your website, your customer relation, everything has to be in sync. This is what can make it much more easier for SME to sell online. So it's not just all about running ad. It has to be okay. What's the upsells? Even for customers that purchases, what's the upsells we are trying to offer them? Because it's not just enough for you to just sell a product. When a customer sees a product ad, then they buy just that product. You need to be able to squeeze as much as possible you can get out of that, as much revenue you can get from that. If a customer is buying, let's say, a watch, let's say a man is buying a watch, you need to be able to upsell a female watch for them. You need to be able to upsell other things that align, that are synced with that. So in a nutshell, as much as a customer, as much as a business is trying to run an ad for a product, they need to be able to make sure they are evaluating, is this funnel of our product and our marketing, are they all syncing together? And if they are syncing together, are we making use of what we have? Are we making use, are we upselling to all these customers enough? Because if they're not doing that, that means the business is leaving money on the table.
Right. Let's now move our focus to technology, AI, and also the future of e-commerce. Baki, do you think AI and digital commerce will ultimately make it easier for SMEs to compete, or will businesses with bigger budgets and more data continue to have the advantage?
Yes, I think AI will be of help, because although we still need human input on any AI as a business, because when it comes to creating ads, AI can be of help, but human input will go a long way, because AI cannot be as creative as a human will be, especially when it comes to tailoring your message to the local market. Yes, so AI will be of help. It will really help in closing the gap, but I'm not saying it will fully close the gap. Let's just be honest on that. It can help with content creation. It can help with operational needs. It can help with um, making sure automating things that will take time when it comes to the operational aspect of a business. Like I said as an example earlier, you can have like a chat bot on your WhatsApp business that will help in responding to your customer needs. If they ask a product price, it can easily give them the product price. If there's a discount, all that. It can easily automate all this process, which will really help in closing this gap. But for large business who's also adopting AI, it can close the gap, but you can still fill the gap. But as a small SME, you don't need to be that disturbed with all this. What you should focus on is, okay, making sure the product life cycle, how is it? Are you making sure your product position is working fine? Is your ad proposition, is it working fine? Are you trying to build enough trust with your customer? If you can do all these, are you trying to upsell for a customer that's purchased for you? Try and upsell to them. If you're doing all these, with time, you should be better, and you shouldn't even bother about the big business, because just as small businesses are using AI, the big businesses as well are also using AI. So the advantage will come from the better product which you have, the better customer understanding, and the better execution which you have. That's what can really help an SME in the use of AI for their business. So if they can focus on those three things, how their product, making sure their product is very okay, making sure their customer satisfaction, the way they understand the customer need, the way they understand the customer problem, how they do all these, and execution of all these, like the logistic which we talk about, is very important. Trying to see, okay, how can I make sure, okay, my customer gets the product at the right time? If an SME can work on all these, with the adoption of AI, it will really be of benefit. It wouldn't close the gap totally, but the difference wouldn't be that much.
Thank you very much, Baki. That was very, very insightful. We now move back to Imelda. Imelda, let's have your presentation you have for our audience. And to our audience, we've been taking your questions. So please keep dropping your questions, and we will soon open the floor for our live audience and your Q&A. And if you've been watching, this is also your opportunity to put in your questions directly to the speakers, because we're going to be taking as many questions as possible. So keep them coming in the comment section.